Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Really glad you could join us today.
Yeah.
We're digging into something that's definitely been stirring things up in Formula One lately. For this one, we're looking at some great analysis from the F1 Blog's YouTube channel. If you follow F1, you probably know them already. And hey, a special welcome if you're coming from the F1 Blog's channel. Great to have you here as we unpack this piece, which actually originated right there on your channel. So, our mission today, we want to cut through some of the noise around Ferrari, their performance, and obviously the huge news about Lewis Hamilton joining. We'll try to understand the core problems, maybe, and see what the F1 Blog's analysis says about the challenges, and just maybe a way forward for the Scuderia.
Exactly. And this isn't just about the headlines, the immediate reactions. We need to look deeper, like historically and structurally. Ferrari's position in F1 is just unique. And understanding why things are the way they are at Maranello, that's key. We'll try and connect some important dots here.
Okay, right. Let's unpack it then. We kick off with something F1 Blogs highlighted this article titled, "Ferrari, It's Time to Listen to Hamilton." I mean, that headline alone.
It grabs you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Straight away, it suggests Hamilton's got some kind of secret sauce, some key insight for Ferrari. And what's really fascinating, according to the analysis, is how different Hamilton's ideas seem to be, especially around, hierarchies and how things get done. Apparently, his suggestions really clash with Ferrari's, let's say, established way of working. It's not just minor tweaks we're talking about.
Right, so this brings up Ferrari's identity. The F1 Blogs piece uses this interesting word, corsets, like these rigid ways of doing things that maybe hold them back, things that make them different from, most other teams. So if they actually did listen fully to Hamilton and embraced his suggestions, what would that even look like?
Could it, denaturalize the team? That's the term used. Make it feel not like Ferrari anymore. The worry highlighted is that this could make a lot of people feel kind of lost. And the transition, the time it would take, so long maybe, that Hamilton himself might not even be there to see the results. And it also begs the question, is Hamilton's way the only way, or even the guaranteed right way? I mean, is giving the team principal more independence the magic fix? We saw them change the car radically from 23 to 24.
Yeah.
But consistent top-level success still seems elusive, doesn't it?
Okay, this is where it gets maybe a bit more complex, politically speaking, inside Ferrari.
Yeah.
The F1 Blogs report points to the very top, the Agnelli and Elkann families. They obviously have huge influence. And their recent wins, like winning Le Mans 3 times in a row, that kind of validates their current methods, right? Yeah. At least from their perspective.
Absolutely. That success outside of F1, but still under the Ferrari umbrella, makes it harder to argue for radical change within the F1 team structure. So connecting those dots, it suggests these top decision makers, who, let's be clear, are not Fred Vasseur, they might be pretty resistant to changing their overall approach.
So this article, the Listen to Hamilton piece, F1 Blogs suggests it's not just random.
No, the implication is that it's a kind of calculated message. It popped up for a reason, maybe signaling some internal disagreement or a push from somewhere within that power structure.
Interesting.
It tells you a lot about the internal dynamics, doesn't it?
And talking about dynamics, the F1 Blogs analysis also mentions the role of the Italian media, how they can agitate the hornet's nest, as they put it. It's pointed out that, look, Leclerc is actually well ahead of Hamilton in the points right now, 119 to 103.
Yeah, significant gap.
But this message about listening to Hamilton comes out right after Silverstone, where Leclerc, he struggled a bit.
Right. It almost feels like timing. Like some people were waiting for a chance to push this narrative. And it points to these internal factions maybe using the media to drive their agenda. The analysis even suggests something quite radical, that Leclerc, who for ages seemed untouchable, sacrosanct, maybe he isn't anymore.
Wow.
Which is like a totally new sign of nervousness. It suggests the existing methods, the current leadership's approach. The credits run out. You even see hints of it, or maybe how the media portrays it, with talk about more papaya orange in the stands than Ferrari red at Silverstone.
Yeah.
Whether that's true or not, it signals a feeling of frustration.
So with all this swirling around, naturally the spotlight turns onto the team principal, Fred Vasseur. The F1 Blogs piece mentions these rumors, and we've seen them elsewhere too, that maybe Vasseur's job is on the line by year end. Antonella Coletta's name gets mentioned as a possible successor. But the big question F1 Blogs raises is Vasseur even really the one calling the shots?
Well, the insight there is pretty stark. It suggests Vasseur is mostly just navigating. He doesn't have full command, not really. You've got Ferrari, the massive company, incredibly profitable, hugely powerful, and the key decisions. They often come from the Casa Madre, the parent company, not necessarily the F1 boss.
Right.
And just surviving in that kind of high-pressure environment, the analysis says that's incredibly tough. So from that perspective, maybe Vesser is actually doing okay just to stay afloat amidst all that.
It also brings up this historical angle that F1 Blogs touches on, which I find fascinating. This whole debate about Italianization.
Yeah, the push and pull between being intrinsically Italian versus a more international setup.
The piece reminds us, ironically,
Yeah.
of some of Ferrari's golden eras, like, Schumacher, Todt, Braun.
The dream team?
Exactly. That era was often described as being structurally less Italian, wasn't it? Even with Montezemolo, strong Italian figure at the very top.
Right. But today, you have parts of the Italian press, as highlighted by F1 Blogs, actually pushing for more Italianization. They point to successes like Andrea Stella, an Italian, doing well at McLaren, or Aldo Costa's past work at Mercedes.
So does nationality dictate success in modern F1? That's the question it raises.
The analysis seems skeptical. It suggests the right approach, or what people think is the right approach. It changes almost yearly. Simply Britanizing the team because Hamilton's coming, or Italianizing it because of Stella's success, that's probably not the answer. The real issues seem to be that pressure cooker environment and how little time, how little credit anyone in charge actually gets.
And F1 Blogs gives a really potent recent example of why just listening to a star driver isn't always the answer. Mercedes and Hamilton in 2023.
Oh, yeah, that's a key point.
You remember Hamilton gave tons of feedback, right? Famously said the driving position was like sitting in a limousine.
Yeah, I remember that.
And Mercedes, they listened. They made big changes to the 2024 car, really focused on his input.
They did. But then what happened in February, right before the season? Hamilton announces he's off to Ferrari.
After they built the car around him.
Exactly, even though, as the source notes, Hamilton himself had praised the changes in testing, called the new car a craziness, apparently meant in a good way back then.
But the 2024 season for Mercedes, well, it hasn't exactly been stellar, has it?
Not at all, and that's the point F1 Blogs makes powerfully. It shows that even when a team listens intently to a driver like Hamilton, it didn't magically fix their problems. It's a huge reminder that in F1, this incredibly complex sport, there's no magic. No single person, not even Lewis Hamilton, is a guaranteed silver bullet. It's a bit of a reality check.
Okay, so if the Mercedes example shows listening to Hamilton isn't some kind of magic fix, and if Vasseur isn't really in full command anyway, then what is the core problem at Ferrari, according to this deep dive from F1 Blogs? What's really going on?
Well, the analysis suggests it's a concatenation of things, a whole mix of stuff. But the fundamental issue seems to be that the F1 team struggles to operate truly independently from the main Ferrari company, the Casa Madre.
Right, that pressure from above again.
Exactly, that internal pressure, the constant fear people seem to have about losing their jobs after just a few bad races, plus the political games, the meddling. It all creates this incredibly unstable environment. It sounds almost impossible to just work quietly and build something long-term. You can only imagine the stress.
Now, what's the solution then? Did F1 Blogs offer one?
Well, the expert in the piece pretty much admits there's no magic recipe. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, tell me about it.
Instead, what's proposed is, stability. Fewer political games, letting people actually work without that constant axe hanging over their heads.
Sounds sensible. Logical, even.
It does, but the reality, as the analysis concludes, is pretty much the opposite, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got the press, you've got these internal factions, you've got political pressures, all constantly pushing for the next revolution, another big shakeup.
Which just leads to more transition periods.
Exactly, costly transitions. And in today's F1, with the budget cap and everything, those transitions, they hurt your performance big time. You pay dearly for them.
So it's like this continuous, almost self-defeating cycle they seem stuck in. Really hard to break out of.
Yeah. And ultimately, the F1 Blogs piece concludes that one thing at Ferrari really hasn't changed over the years, maybe decades. It's always victory or destruction. There's no patience, no room for just steady progress. It's all or nothing.
Wow. What a fascinating deep dive into just how complex things are at Ferrari. It really goes beyond just the track performance. The F1 Blogs analysis did a great job peeling back those layers, showing how deep-rooted these challenges are. It's tied up in their identity, the power structures. It's not just about finding the right driver or the right team boss.
Definitely not.
It leaves you thinking about that balance, doesn't it? Between, like, tradition and history and the absolute ruthless need for innovation and change in a sport like F1.
It really does. And it throws a big question, maybe for you listening to consider. Given all this complexity, and especially that Mercedes example, how much influence should a star driver actually have on the car, on the team's direction? Or is the real secret maybe for the top teams, the ones who sustain success, is it about shielding the technical side, protecting them from all those external and internal pressures, just letting the engineers and designers get on with their jobs?
That's a really powerful thought to mull over, something to definitely chew on. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Hope you found it insightful. And if you want more analysis like this, seriously, go check out and subscribe to the F1 Blog's YouTube channel.
Yeah, they do great work.
They really do. Consistently fantastic breakdowns of the biggest F1 stories. And like we said, this whole deep dive came directly from their excellent content. We hope this gave you some maybe surprising facts, or at least helped you feel a bit more informed about the situation at Ferrari. Until next time, keep digging deeper.